Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? It's Thursday, April 11th, and I'm just checking in here because, of course, we've got a lot of stuff going on right now. I want to talk about a lot of things going on in the news. Of course, Julian Assange, arrested, being extradited soon. We'll definitely discuss that. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on here. Me and my Hawaiian adventures at this event. Sick pad, somebody says. This is actually Joan Ocean's ranch that I'm staying in here on the big island of Hawaii for her seminar that she brought me out here for. So, yeah, first of all, hope you guys enjoyed the number one, the video that I uploaded just a couple hours ago. Quite frankly, I've been wanting to do a lot more work and content here, but I do not have good internet. Don't have good internet at all. It took me like 2 hours to upload that video. So it's kind of been a struggle to do some stuff while I'm here, but I'll only be here for a few more days, then I'll get home and get back to the normal grind, which would be good. But it's been a fantastic time here, hanging out with the Edge of Wonder guys. If you subscribe to their channel, you saw our shenanigans in that live video that I did with them the other day. And some of you guys might be new subscribers to my channel after watching me on their channel. But I just interviewed with them last night, and you should be seeing an interview of me on their channel up sometime within the next week or two. And then I'll probably be going live on this channel. I want to go down to like the beach or something, or go down to Kona and hit the boardwalk and do some people on the street interviews or something like that. So should be good, switch it up things on this channel a little bit, a little more variety, having some fun too. It's always good to have a little bit of fun, right? It's good stuff. So yeah, that'll be good. Edge of Wonder, shout out to those guys. And then also hanging out here in Hawaii with Laura Eisenhower. She's a beautiful soul, Laura Eisenhower is. And Dr. Michael Sala, Corey's out here, Leon Isaac Kennedy, a lot of other people as well. So it's a great time here, but I'll be back soon, and then back to the work there. Also, let's talk about, let's just get into Julian Assange. Julian Assange being arrested, and he didn't look scared, let me tell you. When I saw the photograph of Julian Assange getting loaded in that bus, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw it as well. He gave a thumbs up. He almost gave a wink too. Looked like he wasn't scared at all. And some people are saying it looks staged. We've heard enjoy the show, right? So, I'm not worried. I'm not worried with this process. If anything, if he gets extradited back to the U.S., ends up in a court and testifies, wouldn't that be a good thing? Bring it. Bring the discovery process. Optics, people are saying. Exactly. So, and going through, I was going through some accusal drops just this morning, seeing everything they had to say about Assange and WikiLeaks and whatnot, and there's been multiple drops from Q saying we have the source. And again, Q giving us another drop just this morning saying we have the source. So that suggests to me that everything is planned. This extradition is planned. I believe Trump was even asked about Julian Assange, and he said he's going to leave that whole thing up to Attorney General William Barr. So there you go. William Barr, it's seeming to be very crucial in the White Hat's plans, in the alliance's plans. And Julian Assange now entering the picture with Q saying we have the source. Very excited to see if discovery will lead anywhere. And this also leads me to talking about WikiLeaks. I've been seeing WikiLeaks tweet this morning, and WikiLeaks has been putting out a lot of tweets about Edward Snowden. I also saw one tweet where WikiLeaks was saying that all these organizations, even the CIA, are attacking Julian Assange. So if WikiLeaks was compromised by the CIA, those things are exactly what I would expect them to do. Deflect, say, oh, it's the CIA after Assange. Well, did WikiLeaks get compromised by the CIA? It really seemed in the middle of last year, 2018, that WikiLeaks Twitter did a big 180. And that was about the same time that Julian Assange went dark off Twitter. So seems to me personally that WikiLeaks did get compromised by some sort of rogue intelligence. I don't think WikiLeaks is really all that connected to Julian Assange these days. And I got to be very careful with what you hear from WikiLeaks as well. So there's that. And then a lot of people saying optics, absolutely. We have quite a few thinkers here understanding optics and things, you know. What it looks like isn't always what it actually is, and for very good reasons. Sometimes the good guys need to look like bad guys for certain reasons. Sometimes they make the bad guys look like good guys for certain, you know, there's a lot of a lot of gray in this world, not black and white, but gray. This world of spin that we're in. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. Haha, you look better rested, like you have a little color to you. Much gooder. Love that word. Yeah, saw some people asking about the dolphin swims, and I'll just touch on that for a second. I'll get back to talking about current events and whatnot. But we went out yesterday on a boat for a good 5 or 6 hours. That's why I look a little crispy. I feel a little crispy for sure. And it was, I mean, this is the first time in my life I ever saw a dolphin. It was incredible. We had a bottlenose dolphin swimming right next to the boat with it for a few minutes. I got some video and photographs of that. And then we went and found some pods of spinner dolphins. And then we hopped in the water with all the spinner dolphins. Incredible, incredible experience. We'll be going back out tomorrow, actually. And actually, I wanted to make a point on that. I've been wanting, like I said, you know, my internet here is tough. I haven't been able to do as much content as I've wanted to. I haven't really done as much filming as I wanted to as well, but I've got like 3.5 days left here, and my goal is to just film the whole time, get my drone out, get my camera out, my GoPro, and get a bunch of vlog content so I can share that with you guys. I want to share a lot of what's going on here with you guys, but quite frankly, I suck. Like, I need a cameraman. You know, the Edge of Wonder guys, they have a cameraman that they brought with them, and that would be so convenient for me. That'd be so helpful. One of these days, but I'll get it going myself, and I'll get you guys a lot of good-looking video, a lot of fun stuff that you guys can watch from my experiences here. So be looking for that probably sometime this weekend, early next week. Like I said, I'll be home early next week as well. Back to the normal grind at home then. But so yeah, that's basically my time that's been here. Oh, I also did my talk last night. So everybody here has been giving their presentation. I gave my presentation last night to, gosh, there's like 150 people. It's like 150 people at this event, which is incredible. It blew my mind. I didn't realize it was going to be that many people. And especially, you know, in an island in the middle of Pacific, 2,500 miles away from any continent, 150 people coming out here for this event. It's incredible. But I gave my presentation, and I did it on Q. I gave my presentation on QAnon. I decided to do it on that. And I just gave them the download. You know, I gave them the brief. It was great. Huge round of applause at the end. I think I did it for I went through like 63 slides in 80 minutes or something. I was moving quick. But they loved it, you know, and it's very, of course, controversial information. Oftentimes when I give a presentation or a talk at various events or conferences, and I do focus on QAnon, there's usually 1 or 2 people that get triggered or offended in some way, and that's okay. You know, it doesn't upset me. I understand that we all have our own perspectives, and some people just understand different things than other people. So I always, when I'm at an event, someone gets triggered and raises their voice or whatnot, I always hold the space for them. I try to ask them, where's the disconnect here? Where can we come to terms? You know, and that's happened a handful of times, which is fine, but it didn't happen last night, which is great. Everybody seemed like everybody loved it. Everybody was clapping at the end. A lot of people came up to me after. So good Q presentation, you know, continuing to raise the collective consciousness. It's the goal here. So that was fantastic. And then, so that's been my time here so far. You know, presentation, here to interact with the patrons of the event. And it's been great. But anyway, back onto what's going on. We've been talking about Assange. I think that's all I really wanted to discuss in regards to that. How about that book that he was holding when they photographed him being dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy? He was holding a book. I forget the title of it, but the individual on the front of this book was actually tied to the Kennedys, interestingly enough. tied to the Kennedys. And I was having a lot of, quite frankly, this morning, I was having a lot of flashbacks. I was having a lot of flashbacks from the beginning of Q when WikiLeaks wasn't so compromised, you know, because Gore Vidal, thank you guys, Gore Vidal. That's why I love doing these live streams and being able to read the comments on my phone here, because it's helpful to have that community feel, to be able to go back and forth with you guys. You know, if something's slipping my mind, then people chime in on the comments and correct me real quick. But it's, where was I? So I was going back through a lot of the old information, and if you guys remember, you know, if you were following Q and a lot of this stuff early on, remember when WikiLeaks released the Fire and Fury book? This was in January of last year. This is like a year and 3 months ago. WikiLeaks released the PDF version of Michael Wolff's Fire and Fury book. You know, he was trying to write about Trump and discredit, attack Trump with. WikiLeaks leaked that version, and if you remember, in the header of 2 of the chapters, there were misspellings where they actually switched out an O for a Q. And that was in the PDF file that WikiLeaks put out in January of 2018. And then there was a tweet put out by the legal counsel of Julian Assange. This was in December of 2017, so this was about a month and a half into Q's posts. And this tweet said, "What has happened to the untied states of America?" Untied. It didn't say united, it said untied. All you have to do is switch around 2 of those letters and you can get a whole different word with a whole different meaning there, right? Was that an accident? And then it says, what do you call it when the puppet takes over the hand, or something like that, basically referencing that seemed to be in America here that we didn't have a puppet in presidential office anymore. So, you know, basically what I'm saying here is that in 2017 and the first half of 2018, it didn't seem like WikiLeaks was compromised. But then come about June 2018, WikiLeaks started promoting attack articles on Q. WikiLeaks tweeted a mintpressnews.com article that was attacking Q. And that's when it seemed like WikiLeaks got compromised. So very early on, we did have what we could call Q proofs or confirmations, even between WikiLeaks and Q. But now, of course, WikiLeaks compromised, but Q's still saying we have the source, inferring that Julian Assange and the source of the information is protected in some way, shape, or form. So there you go. You know, I'm happy this is happening. I wish I was home with better internet and more time on my hands to be able to dig into this all, but hopefully not too much stuff pops off over the next few days, and I'll be able to get home and then go through it all. But I'm loving my time here. Let me tell you, I'm loving my time here. It's good to get some sun on my face, some vitamin D in my body. Me living in the Pacific Northwest, I don't think I've seen this much sun in about 6 months. And also connecting, you know, being here, connecting with 100, 150 people that are all of the same mindset, that are all extremely open-minded, extremely awake and aware, that are all hungry for more information, for more perspective. What up, Matrix? Shout out, brother. Need to have you on this channel soon. Definitely. Once I get home, I'll be getting back into doing interviews, and you're going to be on here, Matrix. You don't have a choice. Oh, speaking of which, I've been a good boy here too. This is my first yerba mate in like 3 or 4 days. I'm cutting down on my caffeine. Woke dolphins and woke humans. Oh man, when I was swimming yesterday, which swimming in the ocean, open ocean, it was choppy. Man, it was choppy waters yesterday. It was boat rocking everywhere. Swimming in the ocean, I heard the sonar. I heard the dolphin's sonar. And it confused me at first because I wasn't expecting it. I heard this ping when I was swimming in the ocean, and I got back up and I was talking to one of the people on the boat there. I'm like, can humans hear sonar from dolphins? Is that normal? And apparently I was told that humans can actually hear about 10 to 15% of a dolphin's sonar. You know, of course, our hearing isn't like theirs, but we can hear a slight spectrum of it. And it's incredible. You know, it's basically a form of telepathic communication because you have a conscious being in a dolphin emitting resonance, emitting frequencies, and you have another conscious being intercepting that. Of course, I didn't know what the heck they were communicating, but hey, I mean, imagine you're talking to some sort of ET being, extraterrestrial, you know? They talk through this sort of form. They don't verbalize quite this much. They talk much more through telepathy. So that's some practice right there, right? Let's see, what else is going on I wanted to touch on with you guys. How about that black hole photograph? I did want to touch on that because it seems absurd to me that, oh, we also had the Israeli spacecraft crash on the moon today. Don't know if you guys heard about that. I just saw it about half an hour ago. But how about that black hole photograph? I mean, they wasted how many dollars, how many millions of dollars to get a photograph of a black hole that was blurry, looked like they took it with a old cell phone. I mean, what a waste of money. Not just that, but black holes themselves, there's a lot of science out there that combats that mainstream science. It combats that standard model physics pretty well. And was it really a black hole we saw, or was it some sort of plasma anomaly, like a plasma torus, right? So sometimes I think these mainstream scientists don't really know what they're looking at, and they just think they know what they're looking at, so they attach a name to it that sounds familiar to them, and they throw that out there because it confirms their beliefs, you know? They're just making things up. It makes them feel good, like, oh, I have the answer. Throw it out there. So there's that. Oh, the Israeli spacecraft crashing on the moon. Quite frankly, I've had some people ask me about that. I think it might be an honest engine failure. That's what the news is reporting, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was an honest engine failure, but you know, weird stuff. It was trying to photograph the backside of the moon. I think it did photograph the backside of the moon, and then it crashed, so I'll be looking out for more details on that. And also, something else slipping my mind here. But it's been busy. It's been really busy here, so I've been doing my toughest to get everything situated. Like yesterday, swam with dolphins out on a boat for like 4 or 5 hours, came back in at 1 o'clock, got back to the ranch here, I showered, I filmed a YouTube video, then I went and gave my presentation, and then I went and filmed an interview with the Edge of Wonder guys, and then I came back here and I edited my YouTube video, and so I'm never really on vacation. When I leave home and go to Colorado or California or even here to Hawaii, like I still work. I don't want to leave you guys hanging, most definitely. And this is just it's a passion of mine to get this sort of information out there and help other people understand it and help other people feel better, inspired, motivated, you know. So even when I'm gone, I don't want to leave you guys hanging. But let's see here. And also, man, vaccines, that anti-vax ban. I don't want to call it a measles emergency order. It's literally an anti-vaxxer ban in New York. And I saw a photograph of a lot of Orthodox Jews filing into their lawyers' offices the day it was announced, the day the New York governor announced that ban of unvaccinated people, filing into their lawyers' offices, all these Orthodox Jews complaining about it, which is fantastic. You know, great, they're standing up for their own beliefs and rejecting the forced medical interventions. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Yes, hit like, everybody. I agree, Matrix. So I think that's all I wanted to touch on. Usually I have like a notepad in front of me, so I keep myself a little more on task, but all I have right now in front of me is this delicious yerba mate. So you guys have any questions for me before I go? Say my name right. Sorry, Matrix. Is that better? Is that better? MMS. Oh, yes. You know, my MMS video was taken down. I've had quite a few people ask me about that. You know, where can they view it, etc. I might have that video stored somewhere. It might be on a hard drive of mine. And I can just re-upload it to like BitChute or something they can't censor, which I might do. But when I get home, I'm probably just going to film another video. It's funny, you know, that MMS video I filmed is one of the first videos I uploaded on this channel, and it took me like 45 minutes to make. It was not tough to make. It was just like a 6 or 7 minute long video. But I got hundreds of thousands of views, and they censored it 2 years later. Took it down, gave me a strike on this channel. So when I get home, you know, I can just easily make myself another video. And I have MMS. I have some bottles of it. So in fact, this video I might make again, this update to it. It's probably, I'm just going to make it a little more in depth. I'll probably show myself actually making it and activating it. And I will not title the video with any sort of slurs, bad words that would make them want to take it down. Humble's brand, Jim Humble. Yeah, so if any of you guys are not familiar with MMS, I've also had a lot of people ask me, what is it? You know, they hear it get censored. They're like, oh, it must be good. I need to look into it. Look up Jim Humble. Jim Humble is a man who's been formulating it, talking about it for a long time. He's had a lot of great information on it. jimhumble.biz, I believe, is a good website. Thank you, First Last. Appreciate it, your support there. But jimhumble.biz, a lot of great information on there about MMS. And I might even go to a seminar on MMS later this month, and I'll go to that seminar, hopefully film a bunch of stuff there, and boom, give you guys a lot of good content, a lot of good background on MMS with that. See a lot of people talking about Assange info. I discussed that earlier here, so you could just replay this after I'm done. I'm not going to go back through what I've already discussed. Let's see here. Yeah, thanks, mods. I want to say thank you to the mods. Thanks, Melissa. And let's see here. Where are you at, Matrix? Yeah, you can be a mod. Boom. The shills are getting crazy. I've been noticing my like to dislike ratio is getting, you know, the dislikes are getting more and more on my videos as if more shills are dropping in and hitting dislike. Also Twitter, you know, Twitter and YouTube, all of the, God, what do we want to call them? Disinfo assets, shills, just trolls, I don't know. They're getting, getting activated for sure. And what's funny is that they're like merging, right? So I'm seeing this shill over here retweet or comment or reply to this shill over here, and you know, both of them have attacked me before, but they've never worked together. They're like two totally separate shill groups. Got like UFO shills over here and Q shills over here, and then they're starting to like team up because it's so desperate. You know, the deep state's so desperate that they're activating all of their shills, and they're saying, you know, talk about everything, attack everybody. It's like, what's the oh gosh, what's that reference that Q made when, you know, I can't quite remember the name of it, but basically when somebody has a gun and they get fired upon and they're like shooting in all directions, right? Basically what it is. Death Blossom, thank you. Thank you, Death Blossom. These shills are just death blossoming right now. Panic, absolutely. See, going through the comments here. Coffee and good conversation in Seattle. Man, I try to avoid Seattle at all costs. It's pretty weird there. Not gonna lie. I'm on like the outskirts. I'm away from Seattle. So people hear I'm from Seattle, they go, ew, and I go, don't worry. I'm out in the forest. I hermit away out there. I keep to myself. Spray and pray is a good one too. I used to do that on Call of Duty back in the day. That's why the shills don't bother me. Because I played Call of Duty and Halo 3 on Xbox back in like 2012. And if you do that, you hear some stuff thrown your way online, trust me. Nothing else will bother you. You know, people telling you all kinds of slurs and stuff. It's hilarious. Yeah. These West Coast cities, like the big cities on the West Coast, it's just getting, oh God, they're getting not only dirty, but they're not letting the cops do the jobs they need to do. You know, it's just it's the corrupt politicians, the city officials in all these West Coast cities, and the corporations that are there. It's awful, you know. So Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, LA, just all of these West Coast cities are gnarly, and it sucks because they're so beautiful. Like Seattle's such a beautiful place. I love it, but I don't like being there because it's crazy people and dirty, and it's just so unhealthy, right? You get these big cities, they're so unhealthy. So that's why I avoid it. They need more Organite gifting out there. Yeah, truly. Speaking of which, once I get back home next week, there'll be a lot more Organite up on my website too. So jordansather.com/shop if you want to check out the Organite and the MMS and, no, not MMS, Ormus. Ormus up on there. Yeah, bury Organite all over Seattle. How about we erect a skyscraper in the middle of Seattle that's just made of Organite? Did I see Alex Jones on the Tinfoil Hat podcast talking about Q with Eddie Bravo? Bravo. I've seen Alex Jones everywhere, man. He was on Logan Paul's podcast. They're basically whoring him around. They're whoring Alex Jones out, trying to get a bunch of eyes on him, you know. All these controlled opposition assets, they're so desperate to get people to start following them that they're censoring them. They censor Alex Jones, they censor Laura Loomer. They're censoring these people because they're trying to get followers to them. They go, oh, they're censored, they must be speaking about the truth. So they're trying to funnel people there and away from Q, away from the citizen journalists, away from the non-controlled opposition assets over here. So no, I don't really watch Alex Jones at all. It's kind of a waste of my time. Yeah, Alex Jones is on Logan Paul. I shit you not. You know, all of this, it's so diet woke. It's so diet woke. It's like conspiracy theories are going mainstream, but it's the diet woke version of conspiracy theories. And the deep state is pushing all this fluff to muddy the waters. That's what's going on right now. That's what I'm seeing. And it's just awful. So no, I don't waste my time on Alex Jones at all. I only read Jack Posebek's Twitter because it's just so full of nonsense. Same thing with Mike Cernovich. Ain't that woke. They ain't that woke. Sorry if it bothers you. Sorry if you got some false idols, but I gotta say it, man. And I don't have the attachments. But anyway, I think that's all for this one, guys. I hung out with you for about half an hour here. I gotta get going. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. I'll be back soon. You know, check in a couple more times before I leave next week. Thank you all.